Hey, I'm Mack. Welcome back to my channel. Don't forget to like, subscribe, join my Patreon. Patrons get access to videos 12 to 24 hours early, and subscribe to my OnlyFans if you... I'm just kidding. Did I get you? Preface really quick. It's storming. Hear it. Enjoy it. Okay? I feel like I say that a lot, but that's probably because, like, if it's nice out, like, I'm not gonna be inside. Like, that's just not my style. So some of you may be familiar with Boss Lee of Prove It, who has the strangest technique of shaping eyebrows that I've ever seen, as well as one of the shadiest paths and worst attitudes possibly of all current MLM leaders. If you're not familiar, check out Chelsea's mini documentary about her and make sure you take some popcorn, okay? But wait until you're done with this video, okay? So at Anti-MLM Boss Babe on Instagram, amazing page, follow, tipped me off to the off-brand Kronk to Boss Lee's off-brand Yzma, who goes by, I shit you not, Boss Bri. Yeah, she too is an incredible business coach, simply illustrious, and she's going to educate us on some very important and applicable professional business principles today. Okay? You ready for that? Yeah. It's gonna be intense. I don't know if anyone can see my knees, so I'm trying to check for. Because sometimes I sit crisscross applesauce even like when I'm on a chair, because I don't know, gays never sit correctly.
Go live. Okay, so we're live on TikTok, we're live on Instagram, and now I'm gonna go live on Facebook, so let's go.
Let's go! She stole that from me, the plagiarism, you guys.
Hey guys, what's up? What's going on? It is Bri here. You can also call me #Boss Bri. I'm coming to you guys live from Prosper, Texas, which is north of Dallas, and I want to talk to you.
Okay, but you don't have to yell just because you're in Texas and I'm in Utah. Like, I can still hear you from the microphone. Like, you don't have to, like, yell across Oklahoma and Colorado for me to hear you.
Guys about color personalities tonight, and the reason why knowing what your color personality is and being able to identify that in other people, whether you're doing this for business, whether you're in the corporate world, maybe it's with your relationships in your personal life, knowing people's color personalities, being able to identify them, why it matters, and how it can shift the way that you communicate with people and make a positive impact or negative if you're not doing it.
I'm pretty sure it can have a negative impact if you are doing it as well. I mean, but thank God, because my whole life, I didn't know color personalities. So clearly this was what was missing.
In your endeavors and what you're trying to accomplish. And so...
Endeavors.
I love this topic. I'm going to tell you guys what mine is. I'm going to tell you how to identify what yours is and all of the good things. And so as you guys are jumping on, we are on TikTok, we are on Instagram, we are on Facebook.
Yeah, we know how we're watching you.
Make sure you guys say hi, say hello to me in the comments if you're catching me live right now. I don't even know what time it is right now.
Wasn't this a scheduled live broadcast? So you should know what time it was because you probably made it a point to start at the time that you were supposed to. Otherwise, how would people know to tune in to watch the live? Also, this desperation for engagement that this one, as well as Boss Lee show, where they're constantly like, oh, if you're watching it live, put whatever the fuck in the comments. And then if you're watching it on the replay, put the fuck in the comments. And it's like, I don't know if people think that that's not just a desperate ploy to get more comments and engagement. But it's not for the purpose of collecting information, because you already have analytics that would tell you that information in far more granular detail than counting up how many comments say whatever and however many comments say the other thing. It's already going to tell you how many people tuned in for the live, when they were watching, did they watch the whole thing, how much of it did they watch, which portions of it, when did they click off. As you know, that's going to show on TikTok's going to tell you that, Instagram's going to tell you that, Facebook's going to tell you that, and it's also going to tell you who watched the replay, and it's going to tell you the average demographics and everything, what duration did they watch it for, which parts did they keep watching for. So the only reason this is occurring is because she is desperate for engagement.
But if you're catching me live, drop me a 1 in the comments. If you're catching the replay and you're watching me in the future, drop I missed you in the comments. Let me know where you guys are coming in from. Like I said, I'm north of Dallas, and I want to talk to you guys about color personalities. Now, prior to this business, this profession, if you didn't know, I do lead a multi-million-dollar team within network marketing. I am one of the top leaders in Prove It, and I sell exogenous ketones. And I say
okay, big exogenous ketones. Okay, you didn't even say the word exogenous right. Good for you. Acetone is, nail polish remover is an exogenous ketone too. So what do you want? You want a fucking medal?
All of that because before doing all of that, I did not know anything.
Oh, well, at least she knows it. I mean, at least she's honest about it. I think that's really good.
And I have learned a lot throughout this journey.
Have you?
Over the last 4 years, and then, about 3 years prior to that with other companies.
But you didn't learn anything before that. Also, I see she runs a gang, so I guess it's, this is an organized crime thing. Although, I mean, really, they all kind of are. Allegedly. I mean, also it says girl gang, so, that's probably true. We're separating the women from the girls. Okay? Girls. And then, real business here. Women. Girls.
I have learned a lot about myself. I've learned a lot about how to coach other people. And
have you, though?
Learned a tremendous amount about communication. And I think
have you learned that people don't like it when you scream at them, for no reason? Just incredibly high decibels, hi, welcome to the live, I'm live on TikTok. Yeah, we know, we can see you. Oh, damn, you guys, my pause trigger, my trigger finger continues to be brutal.
We can all agree that communication is the key to so much of what we want out of life, right? Communication is the key to successful relationships. Communication is the key to successful careers. It's the key to successful business endeavors. It's the key to everything, guys. If you want to be influential, communication is important. If you guys agree with that, can you guys drop me a 2 in the comments? If you agree.
Who doesn't agree with that? No, I disagree. I think that communication is completely unimportant to relationships. You see how see again, you're so desperate for engagement, and it's so transparently obvious because like that's not a real poll. There's not going to be two different. There's not going to be like two camps of people on whether communication is important in a relationship, because a relationship kind of is communication. It might be bad communication, but there's communication there. It's not like you're into isolation tanks. Like, God. Wow. Like, yeah, like what the fuck is the other option? Like, if there's no communication, there's not a relationship. That's just two people. Stupid. Like, I like that she just focuses on information that, you know, where else could you get information like this? Where else would you learn this? No, only here can you learn that, well, let me just check my notes here. Communication is important in relationships. Okay, so it's not that it's not important. It is. Let me just. Wow. Okay. Whew. All right, I'm caught up on my notes here. It's the same sort of spinning your wheels talking points always, isn't it?
That communication in every aspect of your life is vital to success and happiness and getting your point across and all.
Yes, communication just might be related to getting your point across. One might even say that those are perhaps similar to being the same thing. Those might even be synonyms. God.
Also maintaining positive relationships. And so during this process of growing into the leader that I am and continuing to grow and learning and immersing myself in so much personal development and attending training.
Yeah, and that's what's rotting your brain, sweetie, is the personal development. I'm telling you, that stuff is addictive. It is not productive. It feels productive, which is why it feels good. Okay. But it's not actually productive. It feels like it is. But you're just you end up in the same place that you started in. That's what I don't like about self-help and personal development. It rots your brain. It rots your brain.
And reading books and doing all this stuff. One of the things that I learned, and I love it because my really good friend Amber touched on it last night on a training I get on
I don't want to hear about your sex life and what she's touching on.
Trainings multiple times a week to learn and to get better and to grow, which all of you guys should be doing if you're wanting to proceed forward in life. My friend Amber was talking about color personalities, and it's such, for me, it's a simple concept because I already understand it. But for so many people, they have no idea what that is. So,
okay. It seems like she does not have a good grasp on the ways that other people think about and understand things. Just because someone doesn't know something doesn't mean that it won't be simple to them once you go over it. They haven't heard it yet. This concept is probably extremely simple for anybody. That doesn't mean that it's accurate. But I'm going to guess that this is not going to be rocket science here. She's like, well, I understand it really well, so I'm an expert, okay? And then other people don't know about it. And it's like, yeah, but that doesn't make you an expert. That just means you've heard of something and they haven't heard of it. So maybe just stop condescending to people. And, you know, that's part of communication.
I want to take a quick poll. If you know what color personalities are, why they matter, drop me a yes in the comments. If you have never heard of that before, you don't know what that is, you don't understand why that matters, drop me a no in the comments. I'm just curious where we're at. I'm going to look over here on TikTok, yes or no. Okay, I'm going to look here on Instagram, yes or no.
How much time are you going to waste begging for engagement?
I'm gonna look here on Facebook, yes or no. Are you familiar with color personalities? Are you familiar with why they matter? Because when you start to understand it, you identify what yours is, whether it's through just self-identification or through taking a quiz. You can do it either way. And then you understand how to identify in other people. I'm telling you, things start to shift. So I'm going to specifically speak in regards of leading a business organization, because that's what I do. I already told you guys.
No, you don't.
I do lead a multi-million-dollar organization. We're in the process of right now doing this this competition within our larger organization where we switch, right? We're playing like leader swap, like wife swap, but with.
Is that like swinging? I don't know.
Leaders. And so I'm also leading another team this week as well. And again, I already said our training was on that. And so I want to talk to you guys about that, because being able to identify people's color personalities quickly helps you to better and more effectively communicate with them. So there's 4 color personalities. If you already know what your color personality is, I want you to drop it in the comments for me, okay? There's 4 color personalities. There's red, blue, yellow, green.
You're not even looking at the comments. So why do you keep asking for comments? And I also love how matter-of-factly she's just like, yeah, well, there's red, blue, yellow, and green. Duh.
Super simple, okay? Red, blue, yellow, green. And I'm going to describe very briefly what these color personalities are. And maybe you'll be able to self-identify. Now, there are quizzes. I will come and I will drop the link to the quiz that I use and that I give to our team to use in order to identify theirs, so that you can do it if you want to. But you can self-identify. If you're pretty self-aware, you'll probably be able to do that fairly quickly. So the red...
Yeah, but it seems like you still were able to.
You guys, those are our driven people, our very competitive people. They like to win.
Oh, as opposed to other people who hate winning.
They like competition. Sometimes they may come off a little bit aggressive, but that's because they're very passionate. They are our go-getters. They may sometimes be very material driven or money driven. And
oh, yeah. See, most people, if you offer them money, that completely just does not affect them. Personally, I would still go in and I would do the same job whether they paid me for it or not, because I'm not a red personality, so I'm not driven by money. Oh, do you know what you call someone who is not at all driven by money? They're called a liar.
That's not in a bad way, but a lot of red personalities you can...
Or they're called someone who has never actually been in any sort of financial predicament whatsoever, because the only way you could not be driven by money is by having it already.
Drive them with money. You can drive them with gifts and materials and things like that.
You can drive all people with gifts and money.
They're just driven people. They're very competitive. They tend to be the people that people call natural born leaders. They tend to stand at the front of the line, and they like to take control of situations, right?
They just stand at the front of the line, but why? They should get out of the way once they have been, once they get their turn. They don't just stand in front of the line. Like, move. What color personality would push them? So
a lot of the people that are very dominant in the way that they speak and dominant in their presence tend to have a red personality. And if you are red, you're like, I gotta be the winner. Like, I am so competitive. Like, if somebody wants to one up you, if somebody is doing something, like, you gotta be the best of the best, right? Like, nobody is able to outperform you. It's not happening. And those tend to be our red personalities. And I would like to also say that we need every single color personality in every organization and every profession, and there's nothing wrong with any of them. I just want to give you guys some...
You just listed a bunch of things that you said there's nothing wrong with them. You just listed like a fair number of things that are wrong with that first description. Okay, you just described like a douchebag.
Descriptive words so you can kind of self-identify what they are, and then you can also identify this in the people that you're leading, the people you're interacting with. So you may be able to self-identify as a red, but then you might look and you're like, okay, well, how can I identify in other people a red personality? If you put something out there, right, maybe you throw a competition out there, or you throw a contest out there, or you like throw a leaderboard out there, or like, oh, this person's winning, and they have an immediate response of like, oh no for my.
Yeah, that sounds really patronizing. Also, I love this. I agree. Definitely, it's a really good leadership skill to come up with arbitrary labels, and to just start labeling people with them without, their input, just based on, surface level things, not really digging into it. Just like, oh, well, they enjoy winning, so let me put them into this box that will forever characterize the way that I conceptualize this person's entire personality.
TikTokers, okay? And they have that response like, no, like I will be the best. If you find that certain people are naturally stepping up and they're kind of taking control of situations, and they're stepping up and they're leading without having to have been asked. If you find that when you put out incentives, or when you put out little carrots and you're like, if you do this, I give you this. If you do this, I give you this.
All people respond to rewards.
Or they're asking if you're talking about like prospects or leads, people that may be interested in what you're doing, and their question is, how much money can I make? Right? Like, what kind of car?
What kind of person would not want to know how much money they can make if they do something? Like, oh no, why don't you just tell me when I get the paycheck, and it'll be like a little surprise. Fuck that. This is true of all people. Maybe some people are more overt about it, but there aren't people who just are like, oh no, I don't want to know how much this job pays. Like, stupid.
Can I get a free car?
No one is ever going to give you a free car. Nobody, okay? Unless you're like related to them or married to them or something. I don't know. No one's gonna give you a free car, okay? Oprah couldn't even give a free car because they still had to pay taxes, and that's not free.
Those may be your red personalities, and being able to effectively communicate with those people is important, and I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. So if you're red, let me know in the comments that you believe that you're a red personality. Now I want to talk about my blues, okay? So the blue personality, those are the fun ones. Those are what people call the social butterflies, right? They love the parties, they love going out, they love the fun. They're the dancing queens, all right? They're the ones they're the life of the party. And you need them because they are the ones that keep the social interaction going, right? They love to talk. They're the talkative ones of the group, okay? They know everybody. They know everything about everybody. They're always in it, right? They're always in the inner circle. They love to be out and about and doing things, and they're very fun. And those fun personalities are important because when you keep fun in aspects, especially, again, I'm talking about business, it just helps your business to flow more happily.
So the blue ones are the rare type of person who enjoys fun, as opposed to, most other people who are like, no, fun is terrible. It's the worst. And also, nobody who likes winning likes fun, right? As we all know. And like none of them ever talk to other people. They're not social. If you like winning, you're not social. Okay. If you like money, you're not social. And you don't dance. Okay. You cannot be competitive and also dance. What a ridiculous idea to posit that someone could be competitive, but also be someone who would dance. What? I mean, how would dance and competitiveness go together? What are you going to do? Have a show and call it So You Think You Can Dance? No, that is such a ludicrous concept. This is so stupid.
right? Because fun is happy. We like to have fun, and you need those fun people. So if you're noticing people are like, when's the parties? When's the next event?
Well, this is work, so you're actually supposed to plan, and find parties that you can go to on your own time when you get off. That's not really, it's so that's kind of on you. I don't know when the parties are. I don't know who you hang out with, but here I'll tell you where the party is. It's not here at work.
Like, I want to be there. Oh, we're having a spirit week. We're having a spirit week next week for our team. Oh, we're having a spirit week. That's okay. They're on the prom committee. All right. They're the ones who are like, I want to have everything to do with all of the fun. Like, they're the ones who are playing the music at the beginning of the trainings.
That sounds annoying.
They're the ones who are the first ones to step up and dance. They love it. They've got the fun colors. Maybe they've got the fun hair. I don't know, but they're the fun ones.
They're just dancing I feel like maybe you shouldn't just be assuming this is a personality thing, because like maybe this is like a medical condition.
Talkative ones, they're the social butterflies. So if you're blue, you can drop me blue in the comments, and you'll be able to easily identify that within your organization or the people you're prospecting as well, because they're the ones asking about the fun. They're the ones asking about the social events. They're the ones that are
social events.
Dropping the funny gifts, and they're the ones that are dropping the music, and they're the ones that are dancing every time you see them. Those are our blues, and they also tend to be very talkative as well. Okay. How
are any of these things wow, my pause trigger finger continues to be brutal. How are any of these things exclusive to like one set of people?
The green personalities. I want to talk about the green personalities. My best friend is a green personality. I am very high red, but I'm dominantly yellow, which is the last color personality I'm going to tell you about. Okay, so I want to talk about the greens. The greens are my science nerds, right? They like the numbers. They're the ones that like the spreadsheets. They like the Google forms. They like everything organized in one place. They want to know the facts all of the time. So they're very numbers driven. They're very science driven. They like to know everything. And that's a great thing, because sometimes red personalities make rash and quick decisions.
You can tell that she's never met very many scientists by the fact that she has separated out this competitive, extremely competitive thing and scientists. And she doesn't realize how outrageous that sounds. Scientists are vicious. Oof. Wow. Yeah. Okay.
Very quick decision makers. But the greens, they like to be fully knowledgeable before they say yes to something. They like to know exactly what they're jumping into. Again, they like the science. They like the facts. They like the numbers. They like the spreadsheets.
And they don't like winning, money, or fun.
They like the organization. They like the systems. So especially going into business, green personalities are going to want to know what kind of organization you have, what kind of systems you have.
Everybody wants to know what kind of organization you have so that they know what the fuck they're supposed to do at work.
That they can plug into and utilize. And what is the science behind the product? Or what is the science behind the service? Or what is the science behind what you're doing, right? The facts of it. And so you can identify that in yourself, if that's you. You can identify that in people in your organization as well, because they're the ones who maybe they're probably asking a lot of questions because they need clarification. They might be the ones who voluntarily make the spreadsheet.
Oh, so nobody has any questions except for the only person who seems to know anything. I think that the people who have questions are the people who didn't understand whatever you just went over, or who didn't quite get something that they wanted to know. That's you can actually tell who didn't quite understand something that was said before by who's asking a question. Oh, this is so stupid.
Like, hey, I made this, because this is a cluster F, okay? I made this, we're organizing it. They're the ones who are like, no, we're putting everything in albums, all right? They want to know all of the numbers all of the time. They want to know the odds. They want to know the science, and they're asking this, okay? They're very interested in this. They're very excited about the science conventions, all right? They're the numbers people. And those are our greens. So being able to identify that within the people you're prospecting or the people in your team is important as well. And then the last color personality is yellow. All right. So I am dominant yellow, but I'm also high red. So I'm like a blazing orange. Okay. Like a fire. All right. But I'm dominantly yellow with a lot of red. And so I'm orange. But
it kind of seems like maybe you really like being the labels you picked out for yourself, and maybe that has more to do with it than any sort of objective measures of your personality.
Red, they're my heart-centered people, okay? They wear their hearts on their sleeve. They love to love to love. They tell you all the time that they love you. You feel like they love you. You know, they tend to be very empathetic to people. And the yellow personalities, they're community. They love to help people. They're all about, like, what can I do for somebody else? And sometimes they will do for others and forget to do for themselves. That's sometimes what...
as opposed to most people who don't like helping other people or community and who are incapable of love. What do you think science is done for? A lot of it is done because you care about people and you want to help people. Like, what the fuck? Like, how does she not hear how ridiculous it sounds to be like, oh, you're capable of love, so you must be in the capable of love category. What?
Us yellows too, all right? But we just love to love. We're all about community. We're all about support.
So this is starting to sound a lot like the Hartman personality profile, which was simply invented whole cloth by a Mormon missionary after he extracted it from his colon with zero research, no testing, and no qualifications. And in the Hartman system, there are also 4 colors, and they are categorized by their primary motivators. And it's similar, but the colors are a little bit different. Red is they're motivated by power. Blue is motivated by intimacy. Yellow is motivated by fun, and white is motivated by peace. So it's the colors are, some of the colors are flipped around, but it's still the same similar kind of categories. And there are tons of these color personality tests, and I hate all of them. They always suggest some sort of ridiculous dichotomy, and I don't like the effect they have on people and the type of thinking they promote. They make people limit themselves, and they really reduce people down to automatons that behave the same way in every situation. You can't be just a numbers person all the time, because emotions and feelings are real, and you have to consider them, because they are powerful motivators on how people, including numbers people, behave. You can't be just an emotional person and not a numbers person all the time, because I'm sorry, numbers are not just outside of a math class. Numbers are not some abstract thing. Just because something is a number doesn't mean that it isn't describing something real, a real thing affecting real people in real ways. And I get very sick of people taking lazy shortcuts or using excuses to get out of accountability for understanding and retaining simple information. We should not be encouraging people to be okay with not understanding numbers and identifying with that quality, because numbers describe real shit, okay? There's a reason the FDA doesn't approve things based on if it feels like it's safe. I might also suggest that perhaps this type of celebration of ignorance is why so many people stay in multi-level marketing companies. You know, they're just not numbers people, and it sure feels like they're making money, but too bad the numbers that represent money are real representations of real money, and those who aren't afraid of numbers are going to weaponize that against you, and they play to win. The fact that there are so many variations of this color bullshit, and all with different choices of colors and different descriptions of the personality types that match the colors, suggests to me that this is a load of a nonsense. I get that some people would say that, it's harmless or whatever, but I don't agree with that. People get very hung up on this bullshit, and I don't think that we should be using crap that people made up with no real evidence or testing to define people. And it's infuriating that so much real time and money gets absolutely wasted on this garbage. It is utterly ridiculous. Just a little rant there.
All about encouragement. We're all about acceptance and empathy. And that is what the yellows tend to be about. And so the yellows care about the community, and the yellows care about the impact, and the yellows care about how people feel, and the yellows care about the love and the culture, and they love all of that stuff. And so it's important. Well, you can probably
Do you think that you're special for that?
Identify if you're a yellow. We tend to be the mush balls, all right? So the yellows might be the crybabies of the group, but that's just because we have the most love, okay? And so if you're a mush ball, you might be yellow. We have a lot of yellows in our specific organization. As you can guess, I am very yellow, and you tend to attract what you are, okay? So I attract
Yeah, maybe it's that, but maybe it's that, number one, the qualities that describe a yellow describe most people, as well as the fact that since you are so vocal about how you're a yellow, they're going to want to feel like they belong in your organization, and they're going to want to feel like they're a team player, and they're going to want to show that they're a team player. So perhaps they are adapting their result to match yours.
a lot of yellow personalities. I also attract a lot of red personalities within our team as well. And so you can identify this in yourself, but also when you see it in the people in your organization. So you can see them, they're like, I just love everybody, right? I just love everybody. Those are your yellows.
Sweetheart, that's not being a yellow personality. That's being fake.
I just want to help people. Like, I don't care about the money. I don't care about...
What did I say?
I don't care about all that stuff. I just want to change people's lives. I will...
Yeah, that's called a fake person and a liar.
Do anything. I just want to help people. I want people to feel good, right? They're the first ones to stand up for the culture. They're the first ones to stand up for the empathy. They're the first ones to stand up for, like, this doesn't feel right. This isn't okay. And this, they're the feelings people. And so when you can identify that, then you can go in and you can have conversations that effectively communicate to those people. So let me know in the comments, what color personality are you dominantly? Now, a lot of people are a little bit of rainbow, but
that's homophobic.
You will probably have one that you're more dominant. So I'm more dominant with the yellow. Then is red. I'm very high red. I have a little bit of green in me when it comes to like events and stuff like that. I'm a little bit green, a little bit anal, a little bit organized.
Yeah, because all of these things apply to all people. And it depends on the situation that you're in, because people behave differently in different situations. You can be a very analytical person in one situation and be a completely, more big picture or whatever, or maybe something doesn't interest you and that you're not going to be as analytical in that situation. That doesn't mean that it's your entire personality. That just means that this situation, people behave differently in different situations. There are some situations where you might be very quiet and reserved, because maybe you feel uncomfortable, or maybe you feel anxious, or maybe because you don't know the people around you. Whereas in other situations, you might be extremely talkative and starting conversations and stuff because for whatever reason, you feel more comfortable in that situation. Or maybe you sense that you could, that there could be a lot to gain, or like that you could meet some really cool people, that you're having an opportunity to meet very cool new people. So you're more highly motivated to kind of try to start some conversations or whatever. So it's mostly just what situation you're in, and then what the environment is and how you're feeling. It's not some like cast in stone thing. Oh, it just drives me crazy how it's so obvious. She's starting to go into, she's like, oh, well, there's like events or what. And then I start getting very, yeah, because the things you're saying apply to all people, and it depends on the situation, because we take in information from what's around us and we respond based on what's coming in. We're not just like little robots, okay? So dumb.
Nice when it comes to that, but the rest of my life is not. And so let me know in the comments, what color personality do you guys self-identify as right now? Don't worry, I'll drop the quiz here later. If you're on Facebook. If you're not on Facebook, go find me on Facebook. You can click the link that's in my bio and then go to Facebook. You can add me as a friend. We're also doing a $20,000 giveaway.
Their engagement must be terrible.
This month, and so you definitely want to get on there. There's a post on my page you can comment to get in on that. So make sure, if you're on Instagram, go find me over on Facebook so you can get the deets, get the link.
Stop staring at me.
To the quiz and get in on the giveaway. Same with TikTok. Go to my Facebook page and do all of that stuff. Okay, so why is it important to be able to identify this in your team, identify this in prospects, identify this in relationships in your life? Is because if
identify this in prospects.
You are a red personality and you talk to everyone as if they are a red personality. You don't communicate to them, all right? You have to be able to speak the other person's language or they don't comprehend what you're saying. That would be like if you only spoke Spanish and I was hollering at you in English. It doesn't matter how loud I scream. It doesn't matter what I do with my hands. It doesn't matter what I say. You can't understand me because you don't speak my language.
What a stupid way to... That's a stupid example, first of all. Because it absolutely does matter what you do with your hands. Maybe I speak one language and you speak a different language and neither of us speaks either of each other's languages. But like, let's suppose, I don't know, we're in a situation and I need a pen really quick, you know, because I just need to write something really quick or I need to sign something and I don't have a pen. Okay? I could hold up the thing that I need to sign, okay? And I could be like, do you have a pen? Do you have a pen that I can borrow? Do you have a pen that I can borrow? Like, I think that would be pretty clear what I'm asking. Like, I'm holding up the paper and I'm just miming, like, what I need. And I'm like, do you have what I... Like, that, I think that's clear. I don't know. Maybe I'm just used to not always... Maybe I'm just used to not exclusively talking with my words, but... Like, it does matter. It does matter what you're doing with your hands. And see, this is the type of just very basic thinking that these people do. I mean, like, how do you say that and not realize how ridiculous what you're saying sounds? That's the first thing that you do if you realize there's like a complete, total language barrier is you're like, okay, maybe I can like mime out. Maybe like if I do like a motion, like a little gesture, like it'll clarify what I want. Okay. Yeah. And then you could give me the pen. I use it and I hand it back to you. And I could probably say thank you. Bowing is pretty universal. You know, it's a little bit weird, but in that situation where we can't use words for it, like if I'm just like, thank you so much. Like that's pretty clear. The person is going to understand that I'm grateful that they let me use their pen for a second. So, you know, God. It's kind of a lack of creativity there.
All right, you don't speak my language. And so it's important that when you're communicating with people that you can identify they have different color personalities than you can start to speak their language. Because as
Why can't they start to speak my language?
a yellow, if you start speaking all the numbers and the science to me, I will shut down. I don't know what you're talking about. That does not compute, okay? That does not compute. I don't know. Some of it I know, but no. What's up, Amber? I see you. I love you. I love you. I was just talking about you. So if you're a red, you can't speak to yellows in the red. Guys, the reds are the dominant. They're the ones that are competitive. They're the ones that they want to run. They're the go-getters, right? They're the natural born leaders. You can be a little bit more aggressive with them and they like it. All right? They like it.
Ew.
But the yellows don't like that. So if you're speaking to somebody as if they're a red personality, but they're a yellow, they don't like that aggression.
If you're not, familiar with someone, if you're not, at least an acquaintance, then regardless of what color you think they are, you shouldn't be aggressive with them. Okay? For sure. And maybe not even after that, you shouldn't be aggressive. Maybe don't be aggressive if you're not friendly with someone, if you're not friends. Maybe just be professional and not being aggressive, okay? That's not really a personality type thing. That's more of a what's professionalism type thing.
Question. They don't care about the competition. Can you love them, right? Can you tell them that
Not at work, I can't love them.
you love them? Can you give them a little rub? Maybe it's a virtual rub, okay?
No.
Okay, and just let them know that you're here to help them. You're here to support them. You're here for the community. You get it, right? You show them love because you have to speak to them differently. The blues, guys, the blues care about the community as well. They're really close to the yellows.
Yeah. It's almost like they're all the same person.
But the blues don't care about the science either. The blues want to know, are we going to have fun? Is there going to be music? Is this a good time? Because if it's not, I don't care. They don't care about competition. They want to have fun. Now, that's not to say that you can't be a green and like competition, or you can't be a yellow and
Yeah, exactly.
and want to be a leader. I am an incredible leader. And I love leading other people. And I'm a yellow personality. Am I a natural born leader? I do believe so. But I have honed my skills to be the leader that I am. But I'm a yellow personality. So that's not to say you can't lead and you can't like the other aspects of the color personalities or embody
Then what is the difference between them?
those. But you just have a dominant one. And then being able to identify that in other people improves the way that you communicate with them.
But does it though?
Because if you can't get your communication across, they'll never understand what you're saying. It will never click for them. It will never make sense. It will never change. And it certainly won't improve. And it will actually start to disintegrate relationships. You have to do this. If you're a leader of a team, whether it's in a corporate job or with a network marketing like I'm in, if you're wanting to improve your relationships with the people around you, I highly suggest you figure out color personalities, and you figure out love languages. And I'll talk about love languages maybe tomorrow, but you need to figure out the two, because when you can figure out the two and you can identify them in other people, I'm telling you, game over. You know exactly how to speak to people all of the time. And it's not because you're wanting to manipulate them or swindle them.
What a load of crap. You're in an MLM. You're telling me it's not to manipulate people or swindle them? That's all you do.
It's just because, like I said, if you only speak Spanish and I'm only speaking to you in English, you have no idea what I'm saying because I don't speak your language and you don't speak mine. And the same thing goes with color personalities. The same thing goes with the way people feel love with love languages. And so if you want to be more effective in communication, in leadership, in relationships, get to know your color personality and get to know that of the people that you love, the people that you care about, or the people that you're supposed to be impacting, leading.
Impact is a transitive verb.
and helping, because when you can do that, you can more effectively speak to them, which then helps them and you in the long run. So if you guys got value from this, can you do me a favor? Drop me a 10 in the comments if this made sense, if this gave you some value, if you think you're going to be able to take a little bit of those tips, apply them into your life, into your business, into your corporate job, just to be better. Right? Just to be better, because the better you get every day, the better your life is going to be, the happier you're going to be, the better your outcomes and all of that good stuff. So if you got value, drop me a 10. Feel free to share this out if you're on Facebook. Make sure you guys go find me on Facebook if you're on TikTok or Instagram. We do have that $20,000 giveaway going on this month, and I don't want y'all to miss out. So the link is in the bio. I love y'all. I love you guys. I love you. I love you. My friend Amanda said it tonight on our Opportunity Zoom about what I do. And my friend Jessie Lee and my leader says it all the time. I know that sounds weird when we say that we love you, because y'all, you don't even know us, and we might not know you yet. But people hate people every single day for zero reason. They don't even know, especially y'all on TikTok. Y'all be crazy, okay? People hate people every day for no reason. Over here, we choose to love you for no reason until we get to know you and you give us a reason to love you even more. So I love you guys. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you so incredibly much. I hope you have a great Thursday, and I will talk to you guys later. My name is Bri. You can also call me #Boss Bri. See ya. Bye, guys. Bye.
Ew, that was creepy. Okay, first of all, when people hate people for no reason, that's usually not talking about individuals. That's usually talking about like a group, like, or, you know, like a race or a gender or a sexual orientation or a gender identity that they hate. Whereas usually when you love somebody, you're talking about an individual. But okay. I mean, not that you can't be like, oh, I love all you guys. Like, yeah, that is a thing, but like the way that way of explaining it didn't make sense to me, because I feel like it's kind of a different idea. Whatever. The other thing that bothers me, it drives me crazy how it's like, oh, you can't explain a scientific concept to me. Blah, 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 blah. Like, okay. This seems more, that's not really a function of a personality type. That's more of like there are some people who are just bad at explaining something they know a lot about. Okay? It's a skill that you have to develop. You have to be able to know, what does the other person need to know about what I'm trying to explain? What are they interested in finding out from me? What do they need to know? What's relevant to them? And then you can go about finding a way to break it down so that it's fairly easy to understand. And some people are bad at doing that. Some people are bad at figuring out what's relevant and what the other person wants to hear. And some people are bad at some people are very oblivious to the level of interest the other person is displaying. So some people are terrible at that. But that's not really, it's not a function of you just categorically cannot understand science or numbers. She even said herself that in certain topics she's interested in it. Right. So that's a matter of finding out what's relevant to that person. Like, I feel like I do a good job of that. I'm not like, what, you think like every single person on here is interested in science? Like, just like, is like a science person is a green? Well, yeah, they are, because everybody is all of those colors. It just depends on what the situation is, what we're talking about, and just so many other, like, what their state of mind at the time is. Like, maybe they're having a bad day, so they're not interested. Like, I don't get it. And the other thing is, this whole thing reminds me of the similar, also bullshit MBTI, or Myers-Briggs Type Indicator, which is a depressingly popular, completely unscientific scale developed in 1944 by Catherine Briggs, who invented it based on reading biographies of famous people and then just making up categories. It has been extensively studied, but as of yet, there is no evidence that it has any ability to predict behavior. So the results of it do not seem to make any predictions about the ways that whatever category of person it was will act. So that's called validity. It does not have validity because it doesn't make a prediction that comports with reality. And it also has disappointingly inconsistent reliability, which means if the same person takes the test and nothing else should have changed, do they get the same result? And that is very inconsistent with the MBTI because studies have found between 39 to 76% of respondents get different results when they take the test more than once, even when the interval between the two instances of the test were as little as 5 weeks apart. It additionally is typically very obvious what each test question is attempting to ascertain. So perceived social desirability, or how one wishes to present oneself, is going to be a major influence on how you will answer. In more reputable psychological inventories or tools, it's very important that it is not just obvious what the question is trying to get at, and it will be very carefully designed such that your desire to present yourself a certain way cannot influence the result of the test. And that's very difficult to do, but it's very, very important. It's also criticized for the fact that the 4 axes it evaluates on are not independent. Some of them are dependent on each other. They correlate. And the qualities are not real dichotomies. But people fucking love that test though. My God, they love it. Why? Well, I would say it's probably because it gives you a group to identify with, even if it is totally meaningless. Additionally, and much like this color personalities thing, all the results are Barnum statements. They seem rather specific, but they're not. They're actually extremely general and true of most people. And most importantly, they're all very positive sounding. The MBTI never just reads your ass and tells you that you're awful. Here, in fact, the great Mack, have, prior to filming, performed a psychic reading on one of you, okay? If this is you, you'll know it's for you. And I have several points that my psychic reading has determined. You have a great need for other people to like and admire you. You have a tendency to be critical of yourself. You have a great deal of unused capacity that you have not turned to your advantage. While you have some personality weaknesses, you're generally able to compensate for them. A sexual adjustment has presented problems for you. You are disciplined and self-controlled outside, but you tend to be worrisome and insecure inside. At times, you have serious doubts as to whether you have made the right decision or done the right thing. You prefer a certain amount of change and variety, and you become dissatisfied when hemmed in by restrictions and limitations. You pride yourself as an independent thinker, and you don't accept others' statements without satisfactory proof. You have found it unwise to be too frank in revealing yourself to others. At times you are extroverted, affable, sociable, but at other times you can be introverted, wary, and a little reserved. Some of your aspirations you think might be a little unrealistic. And security is one of your major goals in life. So, was it about you? For most of you, it probably sounds accurate, right? Do you think it sounds accurate? Well, so did Professor of Psychology Bertram Forer's 39 students who each received that supposedly individualized result purportedly from a fake psychological test that they had taken the week before. The students, before being told that they had all received identical results, rated them as being 4.3 out of 5 in terms of accuracy. So the biggest problem with this is that the test is basically as robust as a horoscope or a fortune cookie, yet it is being used to make real hiring decisions in many cases. And it would seriously piss me off to know that I did not get a job because of some bullshit pseudo-scientific test. Well, that was extremely useful, except I'm a rainbow, not a primary color, okay? And my soul is ultraviolet, which is why you're gonna need ice for that burn, Boss Bri. I've been Mack. Peace out. Bye!